Good morning, and welcome everybody to another show with the Butterfly celebrating and acknowledging Black History Month this 2024. Today is February 7th, and we are here with your daily motivation for African American success. We are through the book, encouraging, motivating, affirming one another in the book, Daily Motivation for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich, Black Choice. And if you guys have not been rocking with us for the past 6, 7 days, I'll give you a quick description of exactly what it means to us and what it intends to do its readers and audience. This book will help you on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead you to the achievement of your true goals. In 165 short, powerful motivations, one for each year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads discover how to use the present moment, own gifts, to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise for when to say yes and when to say no, and look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated Americans as Malcolm X, Miriam Wright Elderman, Ruth Bird, Charlene Hunter Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh and courage every day of the year, but what it teaches you lasts a lifetime. So each in this valuable and thought-provoking book takes only a few to read, but it's worthy of more time for contemplation. So again, welcome everybody, and good morning to my beautiful, beautiful host, the Butterfly, my mother. How
Good
you doing?
morning, Bonehead. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, y'all. That's my name since I was a baby. If y'all ain't know, mama be out there,
I did, didn't I? I
out
don't
there.
know why
But
I
I'm
feel like
doing
calling
good.
you at this morning.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because I got my head showing.
No,
But
no. Maybe I have
now,
a
if
flashback.
anybody's if anybody's the people that are here rocking with us and watching, let me make sure I go live here. There we go. Everybody that's watching, please comment and let us know where you are watching from. I have just clicked the stream live on my Instagram, and so the people that are on Instagram, sorry about that, pulled you on about 10, 15 seconds late, maybe a minute late, but it's okay. Y'all ain't missed nothing. But welcome. Today is our seventh day. We have been doing this 7 days in a row. Welcome to 1 week, Mom. One
Yes,
week, and what a
got it.
change and what a inspiration it has been.
Yes. I feel like this
And
book
it's
is following me around, or I'm following it around. I mean, literally, like yesterday. Well, I was talking to you on the phone when
oh
I
yeah,
had, so
yeah.
after the show, I left to go to work, and I mean, just pulling out the subdivision to get into the medium in the middle there, to go across traffic, I had to look to the right so that I could make sure I could pull out. And so I'm looking to the right, checking this traffic because I should not have to check from my left. But as I got my way to go and started to turn left, I'm looking, and then there's a car that has pulled on the left side of me where the cars coming in, into traffic should be able to turn there so that they can turn around or go the other way. And I'm talking to Brandon on the phone, and as I turn, I look at the car. I was getting ready to light in on the person, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm just supposed to be thankful that there's no accident and I'm safe and keep going." And I had just said that on the show. Had
Yeah,
just said it, that that's what we should do. So it was just interesting.
yeah.
Just interesting.
Same here. So many things that are going on. Seems like every day, whatever we read, whatever quote, whatever affirmation uh, comes to find me, or I seem to find it in my day and my family, the people I talk to. So I mean that goes to show whatever you do in the first morning is going to impact and be the lens in which you see the rest of the day. So be for what you take in the morning. Be careful for what you allow your eyes to see, your ears to hear, and manage your thoughts and take accountability of your thoughts. And I hope and pray that you all are having experience for those of you who are coming in every day, or if you just show up, once or twice or three times a week, that's fine too. Maybe what we give you in those 3 days and what this book aligns in those 3 days will help you throughout the rest of the week, the rest of the month, and the rest of the year. So, any experiences other than that from yesterday? Because I remember what was yesterday. It was
Slim
slim
and
and none.
none. Slim and
Slim and
none. So
none.
yesterday, day 6 was slim and none, you guys. That was day 6.
Yep. And for everyone else, for my people on Instagram Live, if you're just hopping in, we are celebrating and acknowledging Black History Month this year by reading the book from Dennis Kimbro, Daily Motivations for African American Success. If you are not African American and you are still here with us, that's okay. You are invited to the cookout, my friend. You are here. There's a purpose for you being here, and we welcome you. This is not to say that these motivations won't work for you. We're just letting you know that the context in which that it's read, the history that it's attributed to, is from the African American experience, and I think um, that is part and parcel to the larger American experience, and you should know it. We are your neighbors, so please stick with us. Share it with some of your friends, whether they be white, black, Chinese, of Hispanic or indigenous descent. Send this to them. Let us know what they think. Let them join in with us and start the conversation. Y'all go ahead and leave some comments for us so we can see who's rocking with us. But without further ado, Mom, if you have nothing else, let me know and I'll jump right into our passage and motivation for the day.
Let's jump right in.
Let's do it. I'm going to pull out my reading glasses.
I don't know where my glasses that work for me are. They're missing
Yeah.
again.
These are my blue light glasses I'm about to put on.
Yeah,
Keep
those
the
are the ones
screen
that
from getting.
yeah, I need those.
I don't think they're just magnified, but they don't have any like medicine or whatever you call them.
Hmm.
But
I need
okay.
to buy that medicine. All right, day 7.
All right. February 7th. It's titled "The Fabric of Our Lives." Doesn't that remind me? What does that remind me of? Fruit of the Loom. Cotton, the fabric of our lives. I got something about that too. I want to tell everybody.
All right, let's do it.
The fabric of our lives. And the quote today is from George Johnson, an entrepreneur, an African American entrepreneur. It says, "Remember, it's the little things that count." Again, the title is "The Fabric of Our Lives," and the quote is, "Remember, it's the little things that count." Most of us will never receive an Oscar or a Nobel Prize or Congressional Medal of Honor or an Emmy. These awards are reserved for an elite few. Let's face it, there's only one Michael, either Jordan or Jackson. Although every child born in the United States has the same right to become president, the simple fact remains that only a handful will ever occupy the Oval Office. Nevertheless, we can all enjoy many of life's simplest pleasures, the little things that so many take for granted. Anyone can appreciate a pat on the back, a hug, a birthday kiss, a walk in the park, a get well card, and sincere praise for a job well done. These small pleasures can also include a cozy fireplace on a cold winter's night, breakfast in bed, or taking in a beautiful sunset. Even greater enjoyments are available, such as freedom of speech, the right to vote for the candidate of your choice, and the freedom to worship. All of these, as well as many other simple pleasures, give us added enjoyment. There are so many things to be thankful for. And life's greatest awards come if life's greatest awards come your way, fine. Be grateful. But if they pass you by, don't fret. Just look around and begin to enjoy the small things. These things we will long cherish. Today may not be full of great pleasures, but it is full of little ones. You
Mm.
need only open your eyes. It's the small things that comprise the true fabric of our lives. And the affirmation, not the quote, but the affirmation for today that I'll read 3 times. one for me, one for you, and one for the people in the back. I will take the time to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. I will take the time to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. And last time, I will take the time to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. Turn it over to you. What you think about that? First impressions, Mom.
Ooh, wow. I am a person of little things. It is the small things for me. It's not. I'm not too wowed or wowed by grand things. I think the little things are more detailed, and for me, my opinion, they come with more passion. So, like to me, one rose every day is better than a dozen at one time. When I was addicted to the ice, a cup of ice meant far more to me than anything at that time because it meant to me that you are listening. You know what it is that does it for me. But the pat on the back in this particular story, I was having a conversation yesterday and I was mentioning that it's the little things like with kids in a classroom that you can walk by and just as simply, hey, Johnny, how you doing? From a teacher would make that child's day. So when it said the pat on the back, so true. It is really the simplest things in life that plant those seeds in the hearts of people. I believe. Um, Yesterday, I did something for someone that had been on my mind that is going through, and I don't really know. I don't know this person really. I just know of their situation, and they come across my heart. They were placed on my heart last week, and I didn't do anything. And then someone I had a conversation with said, hey, they're not doing too good, meaning accepting what they're going through right now, which is a physical health issue. And so I went and I bought a card and two little, they have these little things that you can just carry around in your pocket with you, rub on it. I mean, so tiny, so little. I think the whole thing's I paid $11 for, about $11 and some change. But what I feel it did for that person, I think it was like giving them $1 million. And if it gives them one day or a half day of comfort that someone is thinking of me in that way. And I didn't, this is I'm telling you guys now because I didn't announce it or anything like that. But that person was put on my heart last week and I didn't respond. And then I was allowed to see someone and have a conversation. And I said, I'm so glad that you told me this because I felt this last week. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to act upon it. And so the fabric of our lives, you guys, I believe are those little things that we do, the patience that we have, the compassion, the humanity that we have is what this world needs, is what people need. I saw a post yesterday that said, in the desert or in the places where nobody go, where there's no Wi-Fi, you will get the greatest connection from. So where there's no internet, if you go where there's no internet or nothing like anything like that, you will get the greatest connection. So that's what I got so far. I'm sure you're going to bring some more out of me.
Mm. Uh, I'm. Thank you for that. You just reminded me of when I got married. When we got married in Mexico. Me and my wife got married in Mexico. Where we were, and part of our trip was a area where there was no, you know, big Wi-Fi and internet and all. I mean, you could have your internet and things like that, but we had to go turn it on and this, that, and another. And we were in the middle of beautiful ranch in Mexico. I'm not even gonna say it on mine where it is because it's family. You know, we like to keep those things something. But I just remember there not being the white noise of distraction. There's something about being out there. And I was like, it's even though it's Mexico, I could hear animals, I could hear birds and all these other things. there was this calm and this silence and this. It's kind of like imagine hearing a radio, having a busted radio that has this like white noise, this sound in the back, and eventually you don't hear it. You don't really hear it. You kind of cancel it out, and you hear the music that's behind the white noise, right? But you really don't hear it in the same way as if you're rocking headphones, or you got your Beats by Dre, or you're in a good sound system, or on a good channel and have a good connection. So when I was in Mexico, I noticed that I didn't hear something. I didn't hear this white noise. I noticed that I continued to leave my phone in my bag or leave it in the rooms and in the houses that we were staying at. And I was like, I just keep leaving my phone. I felt the urge of needing to go check it and then going there and there's nothing there because I didn't have any connection.
Mhm.
And I remember looking at my phone and feeling such relief. The first time I looked at it, I thought, "Oh, okay, cool. No one's contacting me." And I remembered, "Oh no, there's no internet." And then I found myself going back again, and I walked from one side of the ranch to the other side of the ranch to check just to make sure everything's okay. And again, there's nothing. And I think to myself, "You silly fool, no internet out here." And at that point, once I made that realization, I felt relief because I felt like I'd almost given myself permission to have a human experience and human interactions. And I will tell you, that was, I mean, not just because it was my wedding, but that was one of the best times of my life. Just being able to sit there and have a genuine conversation by the fire with my family and my wife's family all together as they sung songs that most of my family in Spanish didn't even know what they were saying, but we could all feel the same spirit. And that's what meant a lot to me. Yeah, we were getting married, yeah, all these other things. Yeah, we were in Mexico, but man, the silence, the human interaction was the most important thing. And who knows, we could have been anywhere and had that. But it's the fact that we were there. There was no internet, there was no distraction. It was just us. And so I feel like we we sewed the fabric of our lives, literally, getting married, connecting two families together on that day. So it really is the small and little things like that. I remember looking up in the sky at the stars and I instantly, to be honest with you, I instantly started crying. Like tears filled the wells of my eyes because I had never seen the stars like that before.
Mhm.
And I had been in the country in America in certain instances, right? But it wasn't the same. I don't know if it was like light from cities 100 or 200 miles away, but when I was in Mexico, I looked up and I could see the milk of the Milky Way. I saw stars that looked like dust. It looked like, God forgive me, I'm not trying to make him human at all, but it looked like God just sneezed stars out, and it was just, a
Mhm.
flow of milk or something inside of the sky, and I just cried like, man, I've been alive this long and I haven't seen this.
Mhm.
So just the fact of looking up and something that I've looked up at all the time didn't have the white of the ambient light coming or the light pollution coming from other places, and I could see clearly now. And it seems to be such a small thing. The same eyes I'd used, the same sky I'd looked at, the same everything, except for now I could see more clear. And
Hey,
stars
Brandon.
are, they're huge things, but they look so small, right? So it
Right.
really is the small things, but aren't they big?
Aren't they big? I remember leaving the wedding with regret. Like I didn't, there was by day two, I think it was this sense of interconnection or a connection with something,
Mm,
oh boy, that my spirit soul had longed for and didn't know it needed because we're so distracted and we're so consumed and caught up in the day. Just think about how we go, 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 and how mentally we go, go, go. It is said that we think about what, 60 to 70,000 thoughts. I think the last time I checked, a day in one day. Think about that. And I also was, well, getting back to Mexico, I just remember when we were having to go back, like I'm leaving, like I felt like withdrawal. Like I want to go back to that
mm,
place of peace. We would wake
Mm.
up to not our phones because again, we didn't pay for all of that, stuff. There are mountains. You are able to just wake up and look out and see mountains. You can hear the silence. You can hear the connection. And I also, when you were talking, thought about the days spent on my grandmother, the grandmother that we were talking about yesterday. My grandmother, Brandon's great grandmother, sitting on her porch. You know, people passing by, waving, saying hello, stopping. You're sitting on the porch having conversations. Um, as we sometimes would have, we each would have a bag, and my grandmother would have us, doing the
With the
peas,
P.
picking the greens, or something like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
had a brown paper bag. But there was so much richness. Now we may not have realized it then, but I find myself, and I just kind of longing for those kind of days again. Just kind of longing for that
Yeah.
connection again. And I feel strongly that part of what's missing in the generation now is that they don't have that. They're not around cousins and aunts and things like that. Like we're Facebooking, we're Twittering, there's so many things. I keep hearing more. I'm like, there people say, "Are you on?" I'm like, "What is that?" I just have enough to keep up with Facebook. Well, you need to get this one. And I'm like, how many more people do I need to know that I don't know? So, but I know it comes with the territory when you're doing things like this. But again, I'm just asking God to do that behind the scenes for me because I don't have the energy for Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I don't have the energy for that. So it is those small things, you guys. And so, when's the last time you just thought about the sun rise? When have you looked at one? But if it did not rise, you would know. That's when you would think about it. That's
Mm.
when you would think about it. I remember also, and if you've been following me or listening to the shows, you've heard this story. I believe it was one of my really first spiritual encounters in that way that it just opened my soul. I was going through some things, really struggling internally, decision making, da da da. Am I in the right place? Da da da. And I had to get out of the house. I just had to get out. And I went for a walk. And on this day, it was very, very, very windy, very windy.
Mm.
And as I walked and I'm processing through my mind in whatever that means, because I'm processing in my mind, but I'm really not processing anything. I'm just having a moment. And I remember thinking about the wind that you can feel me. It's blowing the trees. I'm blowing the trees. I'm blowing your hair. The wind, meaning the wind, but you cannot see me. So you know I exist, but you cannot see me. You cannot catch me. None of that. You can only experience it, me or the wind, through the things I move. And that was a life changing, y'all may not get it, but that was a life changing moment for me. That was a God moment for me. Because at that time in my life, I was questioning, where are you, God? And that's not been the only time. Where are you? Why? What is happening here? You know, this spiritual journey to self. So I'm thankful for the when, but when have you, besides the time where we're complaining, because when it's cold, oh, it's too cold. When it's hot, it's too hot. When it's cold, we put the heat on. What do we do in the
Yeah.
opposite of that? When it's hot, we turn the air on. And most of the times we complain about it being whatever. When it's raining, I also saw a quote that I've been through so many storms till I'm not even bothered by raindrops. I've recovered from so many storms. I'm not bothered by raindrops. So the little things of life, the sunset, the sunrise, the rain, the wind, the stars, the moon, the little hellos, how are you? The little pats on the back, the little I'm thinking of you, they matter. They go a long way. They are the fabric of our lives. And I think the fabric is coming apart because we're not pouring into those little things. And so people are falling apart because they feel alone. They feel not valued. They feel not loved. They feel no connection to people. And we can, I'm sorry, this is a computer. We're on here, but I cannot connect with this computer. I cannot have a connection with this computer. We were wired and birthed for connection with God, with ourselves, and with people. Back over to you, Brandon.
And I thank you for that, for sharing that. And I think if we take it back to even a biological sense, for millennia, our biology has been around tribes, around around small groups of loosely related people, with a common history, and so we had this community, this trusted community of human interaction, that was filled with their own etiquettes and culture and traditions and things that you could expect and look forward to, celebrations and religious things, um, like different shapes.
Oh, we lost Brandon.
So we
Sorry
lost this
about
here.
that. Yeah, we're back. You're
There you
back.
go. No, it's okay. And and for us to lose that to more a technocratic society, we're loving people less, and using people more, and loving things more, and using things more, all at the same time. So we're kind of bleeding ourselves in two directions, and giving up one need for the quick fix of another. We might be looking for human interaction in the morning, right? And so we'll get onto our social media, and we get an imitation of life. We get an imitation of that reaction. But at the end of the day, we're just staring at a screen. And I think there's something to be said for that. I remember, yesterday actually, me and my family were leaving home and turning out, when you get to the end of the street, onto one of the main roads, and we saw this. Actually, before we left, we saw this child walking. Not a small child. He was a young man, maybe 12, 13 years old, and he was walking. And by the time we left, and when we turned out of the cove, sitting literally on the sidewalk between our street and the main road, sitting on the ground with his back against somebody else's fence, the fence that was facing the road. And he was just watching the cars go by, just watching the
Mm.
cars go by. So we ride up and we look, and he's just kind of playing with the grass. I mean, looking at the car go by. And and we had every impulse to be like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Is he okay?" Me and my wife looking back and forth at each other like, how should we ask him? Should we? And I looked at it, and we at the same time had the same realization. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's a kid.
Yes.
He's a kid. He's sitting there playing in the. I mean, 12, 13. We don't even sometimes think of that as being a child, somebody who needs to play, have fun, and you know. And I just thought that was very weird for us to not see children playing anymore, to not see children. And he looked like he was the only kid outside in this big old neighborhood. He was the only kid outside, and it was abnormal to see him outside, sitting down, doing nothing, watching cars go by. I was reminded of the song "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay," watching the tides roll away, and how strange that would be right now if we just saw somebody sit on the dock of the bay. We'd be thinking, what's wrong with him? Now, if he's sitting there on his phone, like, oh, okay, he's cool, he's good, he's doing, you know, ain't nothing going on with him. He's just checking his social.
Mm.
But I saw a kid with no phone, no technology, no headphones, no backpack, no nothing, just his clothes and his back against the fence. And I found that in the beginning strange until I had the realization that no, it's the lens in which I'm viewing that child is just fine. Um, so for me, I want to remind everybody to take a second out and think about that affirmation that I will take the time to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. For me, I love eating cookies at night. I literally every night I crave cookies and hot wings, and I might only do it once a week, twice a week now, and it's your fault. It's your fault,
No,
mom. I'm telling you, telling you,
it's my fault. That's
you
why I
might,
hit my face, y'all. We really
I'm gonna
were. When
call
Brandon
DA.
was little, I baked cookies almost every night. But the dentist said, hey, as long as he brushes or rinses or something like that, you're good. And for the most part, we were good, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't have
Yeah.
cavities or
And
anything like that.
unfortunately, I still do that now. I still bake cookies.
Mom,
So,
I'm telling you, I mean, if I come home, I'm telling you, it ain't nothing I can go through with anybody. If they bake me some cookies, we cool. We all right. Um, but just that little thing of wanting cookies at night, and it reminding me of home. That means a lot to me. But I was thinking in particular, I'll cook cookies and at night, and let's say I have three cookies. I'll be sitting there watching TV while I'm eating those cookies, and those cookies are gone before I tasted
hmm,
them. And I'm sitting there like, man.
what happened to my
And I
cookies?
noticed that it's not that the cookies are making me full. It's the nostalgia. It's the taking the time to bake them and to smell and smelling. It's the experience smelling the smelling them, the smell filling the house, and the expectation, and then getting them and trying to time it to where they're perfect. Real connoisseur with these cookies. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
And then to scarf them down so quick, and then I'm like, where did it go? So what I started doing, and I find myself going to get more cookies, mom, where I'd be sitting there eating six, seven cookies, and my cookies are big. I'm big, so I was like, and waking up in the morning, my stomach hurting. So what I started doing is only making two or three, and taking my time and chewing my food with intention, and it has made all the difference. So just,
Hmm.
I mean, that's a small thing for me. I love to eat. I'm known for eating a lot. I'm a skinny dude that can eat you out of house and a home. But when I started taking time to chew my food, I'm not saying I didn't chew it before, but I wouldn't do it intentionally. It makes my food taste so much better, y'all. I don't even be eating as much.
Hmm.
To be honest, like it's really that simple. Am I chewing my food? And so take that and transpose it to the rest of life. Like, are we really chewing our food so that we digest appropriately? Because when you don't chew your food, it's harder on your stomach. When you don't chew your relationships, savor your relationship, it's harder to digest the information, the things that they're going through, and how you guys relate to each other. It's harder to notice when something's wrong with them. It's harder to see to bring mom that cup of ice because you've been so preoccupied, or that one thing that would just make the difference in their day, or to think like you did, mom, of that individual who is dealing with the health concern, and to make their day with just $11. You know what I mean? Like, that means a lot. Now, had you been, you know, busy with the hustle and bustle of life, you could have easily said, she'll be fine with or without. This ain't gonna make no big difference. It's not gonna cure her. It's not gonna do this, but man, does it make a difference? And
Yeah.
a lot of ailments are psychosymptomatic. And what that means is the your thoughts, your mind, your pathology impacts your physical biology. Your pathology affects your biology. So take the time today and enjoy life's simplest pleasures. You know, enjoy the sun as you're driving to work. Enjoy the crispness of the air if it's cool outside where you are. I was with my father-in-law last week, and helping him on the tail end of building a archery target for Kachali and bow and arrow and all this other stuff. My daughter and my wife asked me, she was like, "Aren't you cold?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm cold. I had just cut the little bit of hair that I had, so I lost that little insulation there, and I was cold. I didn't have a jacket. I just come from the gym, and I said, she's like, "Well, do you want she wears the scarf, so she was pulling off part of the scarf, in the back, and giving me part of it to put on my head. I said, you know what, I'm okay. I actually want to. I'm not really cold. I want to feel the cold. I had accepted. You know what, I'm gonna feel this. I ain't gonna be out here long. Let me feel this cold. And that might sound crazy to somebody else, but after a while, after I accepted it, I didn't even feel cold.
Mm.
And so I'm just noticing that I'm noticing, if that makes sense.
The shift in the mindset.
Yeah,
The
yeah. And
shift.
you remember when I was a kid? You remember when I was a kid when I was having pains in the back of my knees?
Growing pains, they were
Yeah,
growing
yeah.
pains.
And the,
Hmm.
the doctor, the doctor, man, I was like, there's something wrong with my knees, this, that, and the other. And my mom took me to the doctor. And when that doctor told me I was growing, I
Growing
was like,
tall.
bring it on, growing
Yeah,
tall.
yeah, because you wanted to be
I was like,
tall. So
I was
that's a
like,
good point, Brandon. So what do you want to be?
bring the cane on.
Yeah, you have to go through some things. If I might, as we come to a close, I was thinking about the fabric of our lives, and you think about that, you guys. Fabric. Says it is cloth or other material produced by weaving together cotton, nylon, wool, silk, or other threads. And I thought about, if you guys are old school, remember how our aunts and grandmothers, somebody in the family used to take all those old clothing and make those blankets,
So, Mom, I just talked
quilts.
about that yesterday.
Not,
I just talked about
so
that yesterday. It's
so
crazy.
my mother-in-law, grandma Irene, your grandma Irene, um, I have like so many things she made me, and she is surprised that I still have them. Number one, but y'all, they keep you so much warmer than things we buy at the store. But I think it's because mentally, yeah, I got some too, Brandon. I
I
need
got
to go
one
get
right
my
here. And you know what?
mentally
I'm cold too. I'm about to put this on my.
put it on. But mentally, I think it's because there's so much love attached to the weaving, the threading from someone who loves you. And that energy, I believe, is in everything. Because y'all know we could put those blankets on the bed, man, and they would keep, you wouldn't even need a heater on. They would keep you so warm. So think about that as your life. What are you weaving, through your thoughts,
Mm.
through your actions, through your discipline, through your spiritual, through being able to, what was it about the spirit? Being able to feed off the spirit. What are you weaving? Because everything that you do, that you think, that you say, the circle, the people that you keep in your life, that what they say, what they do is weaving. It's weaving. It's a fabric that's getting on you. So think about that. And as you go through today, look for the small things. Like you said, you want just let me be cold. Watch the sun. Be a little hot. Because I think when we're not, when we're always wanting, when we're cold and we're always wanting something else, it's a continuing battle that we already are experiencing because we are really battling ourselves. The fight is with you, not with anybody else. When you stop fighting you, you will no longer fight people. You will not have the desire. You'll be like, whatever. It's cool, man. And I have this
Yeah,
saying, so I have to go. It is what it is. Let it do what it do, but don't let it do you. And it is things, it's people, whatever. It is what it is.
mm.
Let it do what it do because it's gonna do what it does. It's gonna do what it does. It is what it
Just
is.
don't
Let
let
it
it do
do what it
you.
do. But don't let it do you. You have that choice.
I remember
Don't
you
let it do.
saying that.
Say what? What did
I
you say,
remember you
Brandon?
saying that a lot when I was.
Yeah, yeah,
I said I remember
yeah,
you saying that a lot when I was younger.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
it make it do, but just don't let it do you. And then I think
Right.
also before we go, the fabric of our lives is I think a colloquialism or a marketing for the sale of king cotton. And so I think, I'm just juxtaposing the history of the fabric of, cotton, the fabric of our lives, um,
Yeah.
as the term commonly goes, in the implications that cotton has to the African American community, specifically our family, in southern Georgia, and what they experienced. I remember speaking of the same woman, my great grandmother Beatrice. She had a child. She was picking cotton. This is a woman I grew up knowing, passed away a couple years, 2 3 years ago, and she had a child, my Aunt Linda, my great Aunt Linda. She had her while, and from the story it said, from what her and others have said that were there, that she had picked like 200 pounds of cotton that day, the day she gave birth, and had my Aunt Linda under a tree, gave my Aunt Linda to the midwife to clean up and get everything good, and she went back and worked the end of her shift and went back and picked another bale of cotton. Are you serious? And then went
Imagine.
home and took care of her newborn baby and herself. I've been there. I've been twice now, and helping to deliver children. I have two children. Both of them were delivered at the home in my hands. I can't imagine. I would be furious if my wife had to work or she felt like she had to work. I'd be damned if she had to work after that debilitating physical experience, spiritual experience of my grandmother, my great grandmother. She did it. And so I don't take it as a small thing for the leisures that we have. And I understand. But the simple things and the of cotton in my own personal life, how it clothes me, but it woes me in the same sense of the historical kind, but at the same time, make sure that we are defining that ourselves. What's the fabric of our lives? The simple pleasures, you know. Let's focus on that. Let's take time to enjoy those simple pleasures. When somebody gives you a hug, says, "Hey," says, "How you doing?" Tell them how you doing. Don't just be like, "I'm good, I'm fine." Tell them how you doing. Somebody gives you that same thing. Hey, you say, "Hey, how you doing?" They say, "Oh, I'm fine." Like, nah, come on, brother. I'm serious. I'm not just saying it to say hello. How are you doing? And it will make a huge difference. I promise you. In your conversation, in your intentions, in your attention. Um, so she would look at the small, the breeze, your family, a smile, gestures of kindness, a pat on the back. There's a list inside of you, and let us know how that changes today. If gratitude is your attitude, I promise it'll change your latitude.
Hey, Brandon, I have one thing, and y'all, I'm going to warn you before I say this, but I'm thinking about a young man that I used to work with, and he would always come in and say, "Miss Tammy, is pimping wearing you or you wearing the pimping?" There's a lot in that. I mean, really, every day he come in, "Miss Tammy, pimping wearing you or you wearing the pimping?" And he would say it like,
Was it
pimping
a
wearing
man?
you, you wearing the pimping. So y'all think about that. Tell me what you get from that tomorrow. I mean, really, he was always full of life. He came in, I'm like, "Boy, if you don't sit down and get out of my face, Miss Tammy, pimping wearing you or
That's
you
some
wearing?"
Memphis stuff right there.
Yes, yes, yes. But you know what? If you apply it to life, you know what I'm saying? Hey, life wearing you or you wearing life? I mean, I'm serious,
Hey,
y'all. He was talking about Pippin wearing you or you wearing the Pippin, Miss Sammy. So I wonder where the kid is
hey,
today. But
sometimes like that ghetto gospel hit.
yes, yes. So hey,
Yeah.
y'all, Pimpin wear y'all or you wearing the Pimpin? Who's winning?
All
All
right,
right,
y'all.
I gotta get
I
out of here, you
appreciate
guys.
y'all so much
Hey,
back in with us. I
you
know
gotta do
you
what you
gotta go,
do.
mom.
You gotta do what you do.
I am. I was about to get. I was about to get into it.
Okay,
I wasn't gonna leave y'all out. I wasn't gonna leave them out without the three a day. I wasn't gonna leave them.
okay, okay.
What she's alluding to, y'all, is at the end of every single show, we go over it in brief and we review the title and we say the affirmation at the end 3 times. One time for me, one time for you, and one time for the people in the back and the people that you want to send this to. So the title is Fabric of Our Lives. The quote by George Johnson: "Remember, it's the little things that count." And for the affirmation that's going by at the bottom of your screen, I will take the time to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. Two more times. Take the time to enjoy life's
Life,
simplest
simplest
pleasures.
pleasure.
And if you're at home, car, or watching this on your phone, say it one more, say it out loud. I will take
Take the
time
time
to
to
enjoy
enjoy
life's
life's
simplest pleasures.
pleasures.
I hope this feeds your spirit. I hope your soul. I hope it feeds your heart. I hope it feeds your mind, and that you are fulfilled. Go out there with a full cup, pour into yourself, and your overflow pour into somebody else. I love you very much, Mom. I love you so
Yes.
much. It's been a pleasure.
Love
Day
you too.
7, 1 week, baby. 1 week.
1 week, baby. We did it.
Thank y'all so
Join us
much. We did
tomorrow,
it.
same
We'll
time,
be
same place.
we'll be back tomorrow.
Order
All
that
right,
book.
y'all.
Order the book. If you've ordered the book, let us know. I didn't drop it, you guys, because it's so many out there and it's different prices at, for every place. So do the work yourself. Order it, search it, look it up, buy it, and incorporate this in your life. Be blessed. Love y'all.
Be blessed.